Okay, class, I'm going to go through and demonstrate today our drawing number 3. So I'm going to, right here from the home page of Google Classroom, I'm going to come into my class. We will go right here to our classwork. Under blueprint reading, notice I've got this week I've got assignment number 1 right here, assignment number 2, which is right here, or assignment number 3 right here. So assignment number 3 is what I'm going to do. Uh, Let me click on to view assignment. Now, as I go through this is done as a Google drawing, so you can do all of this right here online. Let me go right up here and I click on that drawing. It's already populated in here for me to go through and do this. Now, here is your first step. Notice we are given the front and the top view, and we need to draw the missing view. Now, at this point, too, there are other lines that are missing in these other views. So we also want to go through and fill in those other lines as well. And you'll notice I see a circle in the front view. That's right here in this area here. And that front view, of course, relates to this front view here. So everything I'm seeing in my isometric drawing right here is shown right here in my front view. So I'm going to first project lines over to kind of trap this between these two views. And we've got to do something else. We are going to be requiring our ninth line, that angled line, to go through and get this as well. But we have to do something a little bit different here as far as the point that we're coming off of, because I don't know for sure on this drawing that I have the exact same distance from the right side of my front view to the left side of the side view. If you recall what we've learned before, this distance typically needs to be the same as this distance between our top view and our front view. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. When it's not, I'm going to show you what we need to do in order to solve these type of problems. So first thing I'm going to do is go through and draw all of my horizontal construction lines that project from the front view over into the side view. So click on that line type, and we will come in here with our line type and go from here over. So there's the one line. I've got an intersection point right here. So notice, again, sometimes it acts goofy if it does that. Just kind of back up, hit that back button. Another construction line that goes from here to there. So escape out of that construction line. Now at this point, I'm going to take the construction line from right here at the top and go all the way over with my horizontal line. Now, hopefully at this point you are realizing that everything in this view is going to, and the side view here is going to fall between this top line and this bottom line, horizontal line here. So if I end up with anything over here or anything up here, that shouldn't be any type of object line or hidden line, so because it's outside of the area that we're kind of marking off here for this side view. So now I also have a couple of other lines that I need to draw here. The one, while this isn't an intersection point, but it's definitely a low point, and I'm going to see this, so I need to also draw this line over. So we'll go ahead and project that over there. And so at the same point, I'm going to project this hole here. That hole needs to kind of come over, so I'll project that over. So, and I'm going to project the top of that hole over. So I have those lines, those horizontal lines kind of moved over in there to represent each of that as we go. Now, I also want to point out, notice while this is a circle, we see this as a square in the top view. So my question to you is this. If this is a circle in my front view, what should I see over here in my side view? So think about it as you were looking this way. So, so you're looking in this direction, and I'm going to kind of mark these off. Let me change this to some arrows here for a second. So we got our line of sight here going this way. I'll change the direction on these arrows in just a second. So this is my line of sight. All right, so there's my top view. Coming back over here, oops, like I said, if you click and have something occur, just back up. So I'm gonna turn this one around. So this is my side view going that direction. And here on my front view, let me get this arrow turned around. I'm not exactly sure if there's an easier way that we can get these arrows to point in the direction we want from the time we start. I'm sure there is. I'm still learning a little bit on how to use this as well. So don't be afraid of the software. Remember, you always have this undo button to go back and fix anything. So again, our front view is looking this way. So our top view is looking down on it from here, and the missing view that we have is this side view, and this is what we're drawing right now. Now, I mentioned we are going to have to project lines because we don't know where any of these lines here are going to fall in our side view. So we're going to have to project these over and down using that 45-degree line. I mentioned we don't know for sure that we have the exact same distance between these views. So my fix to solve this is just to project these following lines. So let me change this here. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to take this as the side. So we're going to project this line all the way up. Now that line is going to kind of represent the boxed in side of our side view. So, and I'm also going to project this line over here going this way. Now, with those in place, these projection lines, that gives me the ability to do my 45-degree line going up this way. Let me bring this in. So that gives me the ability to bring my 45-degree line in this way, just kind of eyeball it. So, of course, if we were in CAD and doing this in CAD, it would be perfect, but we don't have CAD right now, so this is a good substitute. So now I'm going to project everything from this view over to that 45-degree line and then project everything down, and we'll see how this comes across. So first thing I want to do is box in my side view. So to box that in, remember this line and this edge. So this edge and line correlates with this edge and line. So we're going to put that in. I'm also going to come in here and this back edge here, or the line generated from it. So I'm going to bring this over till it touches that intersection line. Okay. And then I'm going to draw that intersection line. Where it intersects, I'm going to project this down. Now, in this case, my construction lines are a little bit outside of what whoever created this handout gave you. They're saying that it should be about right here. So I'm saying with the way we projected it, comes a little bit over farther. So we'll do that. Now I also have to project every other point on here as well. So let me go back. I'm going to project this intersection point here over to that intersection or that 45-degree line. I'm going to project this one over. Yep, and there I go again, picking up the wrong thing. So notice how it's highlighted here. So just hit escape when it highlights and then go back, and then you won't pick up and move that. So Just one of those annoying quirks with the software. We'll get used to working in it. So now I've got this intersection point projected over, and I have this intersection point projected over. Now I'm going to project them down to see where they go and where they should fall in place in this right side view. So at this intersection point, a vertical line dropping down, and at this intersection point, a vertical line dropping down as well. So now that gives me everything I need to start to go in and put in my solid object lines. Now, let's go back here. I'm going to now place a solid object line. I've got this object line right here. So we'll make this go from here. Oh, picked up on that. I don't want that. So make sure that you are actually drawing a line. And I'm going to change the line weight to 4 points on that to darken. That's going to be our object line. Escape out of that. Come back, same thing. This bottom point here, boxing that in. Go change that to 4. Create another line here. Now this is going to go all the way up to this intersection point. So and let's set that to 4. Now, I hope at this point you are understanding why this goes all the way up here. This basically is showing us from here all the way up to here in that isometric view, and we see that that's got a full back. Now I'm going to come right back across over. Notice here, so up top here, this goes all the way from this point over to there. Well, that distance right here in this isometric view is this distance here in the top view. So I'm going to draw this top line in my right view to go all the way over to where this projects at, which is this intersection point right there. So coming back to this line. So I'm going to go from here to there. And notice it's already dark. That's good. So that's where that one comes in. And now I've got to come down, and I don't know, I've got lines here, line here. So I'm not sure, and it goes all the way down here. So I'm not exactly sure where does that come in all the way. Well, again, if we know that from here to here is the same in our 3D view as it is here in the top view. So, and from the top view, I can see this, and in the front view, that relates to this part over here in the front view. So as I follow these projection lines, follow that projection line over, and I see that it intersects right here. So following all of these projection lines, that's where they are intersecting. So this next object line will come down from here and go to there. So let me escape out of here, get to my line drawing tool. It's going to go from here down to there. Change my line weight. All right. So we got 3 more lines here to fill in to get the rough shape or the outside form of this. And those lines are going to relate to this edge right here and this bottom surface. So we got to also define this surface right here and this surface right here. Now notice while we see these surfaces in the isometric view, here in the top view we see this surface, but we don't see that surface. In the front view we see this surface, but we don't see this surface in the top view. So just the relationship here between our different views in the isometric. So I know that from here over to this intersection point right here is where that bottom surface is going to come in at. And I know that because this line, object line here, is what defines that surface. So let's go through and draw these lines. So this is going to come all the way over. Actually, it's going to go all the way over to the very end here. So change that as well. So that is the full line, and I'm seeing that line right here in my isometric. So we see it from this point all the way out to the front. So from here over to there, that's what we're seeing here when we're looking at this view. Now, I'm also going to notice this point, so which corresponds and correlates with this one. As I bring that over, this is going to go up. But I'm not going to have a object line or a hidden line down here. It's going to start at this point and it's going to project up. So I'm going to put what I think it's going to be first. So select my line type. I'm going to come up from here to there. So as that line, and I will go from here over to there as that line. Okay. Now, if you think about this, something doesn't still quite look right to me. Notice this edge actually goes up to this point here, which is really the center of this hole in the center line. So when I was projecting lines earlier, I didn't notice the intersection point between this line and this circle. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And this is an important concept to learn and pick up on here too. So that really tells me that this line should really be stretched and come all the way up to that point instead. And that would be what the outside object lines look like for this drawing. Now we have a couple of other things going on here too that we still need to take into account. And those are some hidden lines. But I'm going to stop this video at this point. So this will be part 1. And then you guys can come back, get that taken care of. Then we'll come back and we'll talk about these hidden lines and how we project those as well.